Good evening and welcome to Estuary TV News. Following the announcement that Siemens is to come to Hull, we take a look at the week's events. And as Lent is in full swing, one Grimsby man who's given up food tells us how he's managing to survive on liquids alone. And Richard York has the sports. But first, here's James Dunn with the news headlines.
Hello, in the headlines today, 6,000 residents say no to cold calling. And get some culture in Scunthorpe this weekend. More than 6,000 homes in North East Lincolnshire have said a big no to cold callers. The Council Trading Standards team has been working with residents across the borough to implement a cold calling control schemes which inform bogus traders and doorstep sellers they are not welcome in those areas. The Trading Standards team has now officially launched its 100th control zone in Fairbrother Street, Legsby Avenue and St Augustine's Avenue in Grimsby, working with the local neighbourhood watch group. Councillor Hazel Chase hopes the schemes will reduce the risk of residents falling victim to rogue traders.
We get rogue traders coming from out the area, preying on the vulnerable people of society, and basically we've seen it on the TV. It is not just a local problem, it is a national problem, whereby knock on the door, say you've got something faulty with your roof, your guttering or whatever. Before you know it, Mrs Jones perhaps has handed over an amount of money she can ill afford, but what happens? They've taken the money, they haven't done the work, and the work still needs doing. She has to pay out twice. What we're saying to residents is, if you get a rogue trailer, call at your property and you've not invited them, just politely ask them to go away, hence these signs.
A grant of £10,000 is to be invested in getting more women to breastfeed in a deprived area of Scunthorpe where a high rate of teenage pregnancy. 74% of women in Britain breastfeed in the first 48 hours of their child's life, but at Westcliff and Reading's children's centres it's just 41%. But the area has now won a £10,000 grant from the Royal College of Midwives, which will be used to get more women breastfeeding. Jane Goodwin, breastfeeding support midwife at Scunthorpe Hospital, said it's about more than just feeding a baby. It creates a special bond between mother and child and protects them against diseases. Hull's MP has slammed Channel 5 in the Commons over rumours they plan to make a documentary about Benefit Britain in Hull. Diana Johnson made the comments yesterday after a social media post was circulated asking people from Hull to get in touch if they wanted to appear on a documentary about living on benefits. It comes as people in Grimsby conduct a campaign to stop skint filming in the town after it made national headlines portraying the deprived community in Scunthorpe's Westcliff estate last year. Diana Johnson accused their programme makers of pandering to stereotypes, and other social media users have asked why not a documentary on Siemens' investment into Hull or preparations for the City of Culture 2017. Something as simple as not having access to the internet is a major barrier to people getting back to work. That's according to a North East Lincolnshire councillor, which is why they're now holding special classes for job seekers in local libraries. The free taster sessions that take place at libraries across the borough throughout next week and coincide with the launch of National Careers Service.
I do think not having internet access can be a huge barrier for people when they're job hunting. More and more companies only advertise vacancies online and expect people to actually complete forms and submit them online. We're offering some taster sessions in all the libraries across the borough to enable people to actually get some help and support so that they can have a go at filling in job applications, searching for jobs online, just to be able to show them how accessible it is and the opportunities that there are out there.
Times and places for the Internet Taster Sessions and National Career Service sessions are available on North East Lincolnshire Council's website. Scandinavian Airlines have cancelled their direct flights from Copenhagen to Humberside Airport just 6 months after they were launched. Humberside Airport said there were issues with reliability and the airline had struggled to compete with others, such as KLM, which offered flights via Amsterdam. Some of the largest wind energy companies, including Siemens, are based in Denmark, in the Dambrik region, and it's thought that many businesses have chosen to connect via Amsterdam rather than Copenhagen. Employers in West Lindsey are being encouraged to join a brand new scheme to help employees make healthier choices. West Lindsey District Council's Health and Wellbeing team gives confidential advice on issues such as giving up smoking and losing weight. They've already visited large employers in Lincolnshire such as Tesco, but now want companies large and small to sign up. Details are on the council's website. A Scunthorpe Orchestra is to showcase musicians from 5 countries, 8 counties and 8 different orchestras tomorrow. The IOAX Resident Orchestra is performing Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony at North Lindsey College with a ballet from a local dance company. It starts at 7 p.m. and tickets are available on the door. Children go free. That's all from me. I'll see you next time.
It's been described as a game changer. Siemens confirming their intention to invest in Hull, helping to ensure our region plays an important role in Britain's energy transformation. They say things come in threes, and that certainly seems to be the case for Hull. UK City of Culture 2017 plans to electrify rail connections, and now Siemens have confirmed their intention to develop a wind turbine production and installation.
It means a massive investment, 310 million, 1,000 direct jobs as well as the construction jobs, maybe 3 times, 4 times as many of that in the general economy. It firmly puts the whole of the Humber Estuary as the energy centre for the UK, certainly for England. We've badged the Humber as the energy estuary for a long time, and this really confirms that.
On the day it was announced, everyone involved gathered to celebrate the investments made by both Siemens and the UK's associated British ports. But with upwards of 1,000 jobs to be created, the next step is ensuring people from our region are first in line.
It's incumbent on the members of Parliament, actually, in the city and the local politicians working with the local authority, the Hull University, the college, to ensure that we have the skills, we have the training, and we have the people ready and skilled to do the jobs.
We hope that as many as possible will be local people. We're going to need all kinds of things. We're going to need some very specialist skills that we might have to bring in from wherever, but we're going to need the complete range. Blade manufacturing is a really high-tech, but it's a craft skill as well, and there are some of the maritime skills that Hull has, and even some of the caravan building skills that Hull has can help in the sorts of things that we need to do in the factory and the port facility.
It's hoped that other companies will now follow in the footsteps of Siemens, but Team Humber Marine Alliance say to guarantee this, the supply chain has to be attractive to future investors.
Particularly on some contracts, when you've got small companies, we need small companies to work together, combine their capabilities and strengths, and that should be a good offer for some of the bigger companies. Well, when companies come to invest in a region like Siemens, they took a look at the geography, but they also look at the supply chain, what the skills levels are, whether that be in terms of the capabilities of the companies or the future supply chain. Where are the future employees going to come from?
But it certainly seems our region is well and truly on the map. Erica Barker, Estuary TV. Maybe your attempts to give up smoking are a distant memory. Maybe you're still struggling to resist the temptation of chocolate. As Lent reaches the halfway point, James Dunn caught up with Simon Cross, who has given up food for 40 days to raise awareness of food poverty.
It's been tough to begin with, but now I'm so far through, it's a lot easier. My body's sort of taking the strain, and I'm in a process called ketosis, which means that my liver's breaking down my fats and turning them into sugar, and actually it's now relatively easy.
And have you lost weight since you started?
Yeah, I've lost a bit of weight. I have lost a bit of weight. I've probably lost nearly a stone. My metabolism's so slowed down now that I'm not anticipating losing lots more. But yes, I've lost a bit, as you would expect. No food in means, some weight loss.
So when you're not eating, I mean, tell me exactly what it is. What can you eat, drink? What are you doing?
Okay, well, the way this works for me is that I have some juice in the morning. I have some juice and some hot water as well. And then through the day, I drink water. I drink some green tea. And then if it's been a strenuous day, I'll have a bit more juice in the evening, some vegetable juice usually. And then water. I also have vitamin pills. I take some vitamin and mineral pills, so just to ensure that really I'm not, because I'm working the whole time. I need to make sure that I'm okay.
Have you noticed any other sort of side effects other than weight loss and probably tiredness, I'd imagine?
Yeah, the main side effect really is just a bit of loss of energy. So in the evenings, I tend to get a bit tired. Sometimes in the afternoon, if I've had a hard work morning, then in the afternoon I'll slump a little bit. But as long as I just pace myself and take things steady, it's fine.
And obviously the reason you're doing this is to raise awareness of fuel poverty. Has it been worth it so far? Halfway through, do you feel you've got the message out, and what's the message that you're trying to get out?
Yeah, the point of this campaign is to raise awareness of food poverty, to explain the fact that people are literally living on next to nothing. People within our communities are going hungry. They're having to make difficult choices about whether they feed their children or have food themselves, having to make these hard choices about whether they can heat their homes or whether they can buy food. I recently heard that 46% of shop crime now in North East Lincolnshire is people stealing food. That's how bad it's getting for some people. They're making these choices about theft. And, when you're hungry, you're also not in a good place about making choices. So you may make choices that you would later regret. That may well include stealing things. So yes, that's the point I'm trying to get across, that this is happening. This is a real thing in our community. The food bank here has seen a 420% increase over 2 years in people taking up their services. And, I think about 3,500 people in North East Lincolnshire have had to resort to using a food bank. And that's an incredible thing.
So what is the alternative?
Well, what needs to happen is the government needs to act, needs to provide a robust welfare system for those who do genuinely need it. It also needs to make sure that when people are working, that work pays. So a lot of people are actually the working poor. They're in jobs, they're working as hard as they can. They're still not able to make ends meet. So that we need to make sure that work pays. And the other thing that the government needs to do is to ensure that food markets work for everybody, not just for the large companies who make lots of money out of it. So there are ways that large companies are rigging the food market to profit from hunger, and that shouldn't be allowed.
And were you a fan of yesterday's budget?
I wasn't particularly impressed by yesterday's budget. I thought it was a good opportunity to do something exciting, and instead, it's rather sad they offered us beer and bingo, and that's not a good sign.
And, doing something like this, do you think it has made people more receptive to your message?
It's certainly got a lot of attention. A lot of people are talking about it.
Now here's Richard York with the sport.
Thank you, Erica. Now here's the sport news. After their midweek loss to West Ham, Hull City will head over to the Britannia Stadium to face Stoke in the Premiership on Saturday. Scunthorpe won 2-0 at Cheltenham in the week thanks to Sam Winnall's double, which takes him to 21 goals for the season. The Iron will be confident of extending their unbeaten run to 24 games when they face low-placed Wycombe at home this weekend. Grimsby Town will play at Hereford in their first of a trio of away fixtures. The Mariners will be hoping to take advantage of their games in hand as they continue to challenge for the Skrill Premier playoffs. Gary Simpson's Lincoln side will be looking to come away with a win as they face relegation-threatened Tamworth to secure the Imps a mid-table finish at the weekend. After a topsy-turvy game, North Ferriby drew 3-3 to the bottom of the table Workington in the week. The local side will be hoping to win against Stalebridge Celtic at the weekend to put the pressure back on AFC Telford as they both challenge for the top of the Conference North. Leaders of the Tool Station Northern County East League Division 1, Cleethorpes Town, will be looking for another positive result at Shore Lane Aquaforce on Saturday. Elsewhere, fans can expect a tasty game as Grimsby Borough meet Louth Town at the Bradley Football Development Centre. In rugby, Midlands 3, it's 9th versus 8th as Grimsby face Mellish at Springfield Road, with the visitors 3 points clear of their hosts. Likewise in Midlands 1, it's also an exciting game in prospect as Market Raisin and Louth host Ilkeston first, with both teams level on 56 points. That was the sport news, and now back to Erica.
If you have any stories that you would like to share with us, you can get in touch by phone on Grimsby 315561, write on our Facebook page or tweet us at Estuary TV or email us news@estuary.tv. That's all from us today. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.